Welcome back, everyone. In our series, Our Airport, put on by TV Channel 88. And what we're doing here is we're bringing everyone behind the gate in a restricted area, showing you what happens behind the scenes at our airport and how important this airport is to the whole county, to Marathon and the Middle Keys. It's just a wonderful, wonderful series. And if you're following along, by the time we finish, we'll cover all the facilities at the airport. We'll try to explain how they work and how they operate and how they affect our lives and assist you. So we are at Antique Air. It's at the east end of our airport. And Antique Air, by the way, is the only aircraft maintenance facility on our field. Standing next to me is my old friend Tony Diuto that I've known since he was a kid, about that high. Tony?
Correct.
Pretty close. Tony is an ace mechanic. He's qualified by the FAA to fix just about anything there is on an aircraft, and I trust him with my life, and I want to promise you a lot of us do. He is just a wonderful, wonderful guy, IA, A&P, rebuilds engines and keeps us safe in the sky. And by the way, he outside of being a wonderful, wonderful friend, is a friend of the community. He established an organization called, I think it's the Marauders, is it, Tony?
Correct, Monroe Marauders.
Tell us something about that, just a quick second. We'll get back into the aircraft repair, but this Marauders is really a great thing.
Absolutely. It started out as a military vehicle club and kind of sped off from there. We actually do all the local parades and events here by using our vehicles and supporting our veterans, and it's just a good thing that we do. We got to, support the VFWs, the DAV, the Legion, all the local communities, anything that they need that we can, use the trucks in, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
There's an event coming up, Project Healing Waters, in September, and we've been helping them. They started last year coming down here, and we've been helping them by escorting the 40, 50 wounded vets from Key Largo down to here. So it's a good thing. It's a great thing. It's
fantastic. And just to stay on that subject quickly, and we'll get off it, because this is why we're here, which is Antique Air and the aircraft repair. But this is a good side note. Tony's vehicles and his membership vehicles are ex-military vehicles that can assist Monroe County in any kind of a disaster after a hurricane. He has offered, and the club has offered, their assistance. So if we ever, God forbid, have a bad hurricane, you'll see these guys out there working for us. But let's get back to fixing airplanes. And that's a pretty important thing, don't you think?
Important thing.
Yeah. I had the misfortune of having 2 engine failures and putting 2 different aircraft in the water, which the end number on my airplane is 417 Delta Delta, which they call me Double Dunk. And we don't need double dunks, and that's why Tony's here. And I want to tell you something. He is the best mechanic you're ever going to see in your life. He says he doesn't need any more business, and he really doesn't. He's so busy, but at the same time, he always takes time for us pilots. Tony, can you tell us a little bit about what you check for when you look at airplanes and how often you have to check on airplanes?
That's a good question. They have to be inspected yearly. It's called an annual inspection. We also do normal maintenance on them, tire changes, oil changes, pretty much the same thing as a vehicle. Alternator problems, starting problems, anything to that effect. One of the big problems down here is corrosion that we are constantly fighting. We tried numerous methods to try to at least control it and maybe even slow it down or try to get rid of it completely, but that is one of the big problems down here.
Absolutely. So, you just heard that airplane go overhead. That's one of Tony's success stories, and he has them going by day by day by day. So when you see an airplane go up in the air, chances are Tony or his crew has touched that airplane. Corrosion. Tony takes airframes apart, does sheet metal work, does everything from complete engine changes. Aircraft look like a car to somebody. You jump in your car, you start it, you go. But it's not quite. That's the Marauders going off? That's okay. Hold on 1 second. No, we're good. We're good. But it's not quite like a car, because if your car stops, you can pull over. If an airplane stops, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to pull over. But But you know, it's really a wonderful, wonderful thing we have Tony here. It's a wonderful thing we have this airport here. It's a wonderful thing that we are able to offer these services to pilots. If you look at our FBOs, General Aviation, with all the aircraft down there, or going further, the Jet Center with these jets, they need support. If they fly in here and something's broken, who are they going to see? How does that go? Who are they going to see?
They're going to come see me.
They are going to come to see Tony. So, Tony, how long have you been doing this?
Wow. In June it'll be 34 years.
34 years. He rebuilt or built the first engine in an airplane that I bought from his dad, who has since passed away, a wonderful man, and in the old hangar up there, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We've seen a lot of good things.
We've seen a lot of things, a lot of changes here.
A lot of changes. You know, and Tony is not just an aircraft mechanic, and he's not an organizer of the Marauders, as we discussed. He's involved in everything. He and my son and a bunch of guys were the original firefighters from Monroe County, and they still have an organization and still go to fires. And by the way, now and back then, they did a phenomenal job. You see the old fire truck at Christmas running around, the old ladder truck? Sure as heck he's either driving it or he's on the back, and these guys maintain that truck. So even though we think of our fire department as full-time guys, that's just part of our fire department. And we need these guys like Tony and the young generation to come up and to get involved in those kind of things. The Marauders, the fire department, the aircraft mechanic, you know, and learning a trade. You know, everybody wants to go to school and wear a tie and a shirt. But frankly, I'll tell you guys, I never went to college, and I probably missed something, but I feel I was a success in life, and I went out in the service industry and made money and did good things, and I encourage young people to do that. Come to Tony and say, hey, look, I'd like to learn something. This guy will teach anybody who wants to learn.
Right,
How many guys you brought up here?
Quite a few, and I'm actually a Marathon graduate. And I've brought probably four guys from Marathon High School through to their licenses, and they've moved on to bigger and better things.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right, we're going to take a break now. Stand by, and we'll be back shortly at Antique Air on your airport. So actually, it's our airport. You know, I keep saying that wrong, but it's all compliments of TV 88. So stand by, folks, and we'll be back.